Y'all read the title, my wish list for Rivals of Aether 2, at least for 2026, and hopefully I get this damn thing up before the end of the year, or at least at least at the start of 2026. But yeah, no, for context, we got the roadmap from Aether Studios of what their intentions are in 2026, and you know, they are also known to also just embellish what they put in and like what they actually release first. So what we see in the roadmap isn't actually in order of what they want to do, but it's just priority and just what they can get done, you know what I mean? So I initially wasn't gonna do this, but after seeing this dope video from my two homeboys, BeastMD and Simply Skeptic, where they talk about their wish list for 2026 as like somebody, as people who like don't compete, and I just want to throw my hat into it because I do. I would willingly compete and travel for this this game. But yeah, no, let's get it started. To start things off, starting strong, that isn't even part of the roadmap, but I hope they just shadow drop this. This is just one of the things that that's been a reoccurring theme where Aether Studios just shadow drops things, and this would be a neat surprise. So, what is character-specific tutorials? Well, self-explanatory, right? You just get a breakdown of you just get down to the nitty-gritty of what each character does. I know we have the character 101s. However, I feel like that's not enough, especially when you look at tournament play. It's like, yo, how are these people doing this, that, and the third, right? Yeah, it comes down to just skill and over time, but there are niches a character can do, and just simple combo routes that people are doing, and it's also even working at a higher level. I feel like going over that would be awesome. So, and you know, a real fighting game, because I'm pretty sure other fighting games have character specific things that they go over in a separate ordeal. Hell, even Rivals of Aether 1 had it. But here's the problem with character specific tutorials in Rivals 1. Those sucked. Those sucked really bad. In fact, I feel like the character 101s, the little videos that Aether Studios put out, is better than the character specific tutorials in 1. Here's an example. Here's an example where for Krag's character specific tutorial in Roa 1, right? They tell you that you can pillarless recovery. Just straight up, full stop, up special, you press your recovery button plus dodge, you go into pillarless, even though you have pillar stored. What do they get you to do? They get you to hit Orby with pillar. What? Get me to hit the pillarless recovery 3 times instead of hitting Orby 3 times with pillar. I don't understand it. Hell, even in the character 101s, they show you examples of yeah, here's how you do pillarless recovery or side special cancel. And it's just things like that. And then if they ever do character specific tutorials, yeah, like I said earlier, just talk about the bread and butters of the combo routes of each character. One example being that I just found out ages ago, it was down throw into down special. Something stupid like that. It's that just leads into so much follow-ups if you hit it. Even if you don't and they just shield it, it's there's so much you can do off of it. You can get away, you can do an aerial to see if they're gonna drop shield. You can go for a regrab, a lot. You can go for a lot just off that one interaction, or go over all the rock angles with Krag. Just all of them. Get the new player to cycle through if they want to main Krag. And I mean all the angles. And I feel like something like this can really fast track people into maybe being creative even faster with their character, right? It's just things like that I think would be helpful for the game, if there were character specific tutorials. Alright, and now last thing when talking about tutorials. Now again, Like, I am grateful that they did it, but holy crap, that took way too long for giving us tutorials in the first place. Jesus. And they did give us advanced tutorials in the last bit of 2025. Thank God. But another thing I think would go crazy, because I know people are not going to be reading these texts as useful as it will be. Just give Orby a voice, and then like just have Orby read to you. Just whatever. Screw it. Now, next thing on my list is more modes and more shit to do in this game. We know, we want more modes. But, come on, you guys gotta give more people stuff to do in this game. I'm biased, because, like, I'm okay with 1v1s, either in ranked, God help my soul, or casuals when I want to clip hunt, or friendlies. Like, but even as a competitive player and a serious player, even I can see people don't want to compete like that a lot of the time. Because, like, and yeah, no, like, if there is more stuff to do in this game, then there's like an off chance that casual player could turn into a competitive player. I always go in with that mindset. But Outcast, they're coming out with item modes and Aether mode. That should be enough, right? Well, maybe so, but more couldn't hurt. Like, you don't even gotta reinvent the wheel. I think there could be, like, awesome shit like basketball mode, where you just try to knock each other into a net or into a cannon, and it just sends the other person into the blast zone. Right? I think that would be cool. Another one could be volleyball mode, like you know, like in Melee. And it could just, and hell, dude, just screw it. Just give us tetherball mode if you really want to. If we're really down bad, just give us tetherball mode. Why, you say? Well, wouldn't it be funny if somebody's tier list flips on its head because of like a game mode? Like, an example being, the reason why I bring up tetherball mode is because, like, what was it? Like, I personally think, like, Ori, Raster, and Maple are, like, top of the list in Royal 1, right? But in tetherball mode, Raster's dog shit. Raster sucks in tetherball. But you know what? Yo, even Idlemus SK is number 2, and then Rano's number 1 in tetherball. Just funny things like that. And I feel like that also just generates content and conversation. So the same thing really could happen if, like, Aether Studios gave us a volleyball mode or a basketball mode. Just like, and this could also be fun side brackets to, like, where everybody can enjoy it, like, at tournament. Like, it doesn't matter how good you are actually at 1v1s. It's like, nah, bro, like, this side mode though, this side mode's the shit. And yeah, and I'll get into that on, like, how we can timeline wise fit that in, at least as a side bracket. Now, circling back to the video that inspired me to do this in the first place, one of the things suggested was expanding upon eye break mode. And an example that BSMD used was just having different color eyes, like in the eye break, just doing, like, different things. Like, and the example he used was needing a certain amount of hits if it was red or something. If it was a red eye on screen, you need to hit that shit twice. Another one could be like, yo, like, you gotta use, if it's blue, gotta hit it with an aerial or something different to break the monotony. And also, please make the mode last longer than 1 minute per session. Like, make it like a challenge of, like, you break this amount, and, like, you gotta just make it a countdown instead for, like, how many you gotta break. At least, like, as another mode you could switch between. But one thing I want to expand upon too in iBreak is making more unlockables. No, not buying. No, you unlock more designs for, like, eyes or palettes or something. Or they don't even gotta be eyes, like, just something to break. Like, and you swap between them. Like, just something to do. Right? because there's not, that's one of the main criticisms I hear about this game is like there's not a lot to do for like the casual base, and that's what this year is for. What they could do to make these unlockables work is like, yo, just lifetime targets, like you unlock this design or this palette, or if you want to go real specific, it's like, yo, while you're playing as Crag, you lifetime hit like, I don't know, like 200 targets, you unlock this like earthy type design, or this like, or Crag palette like type eye or target in the eye break mode. Just something like that. And then another thing, please let us earn actual experience points when trying to level these characters during like eye break mode, or even in arcade mode. Like, holy crap, dude. Not everybody wants to hop online, even though the whole goal is to like get them to hop on Rivals, but not hop online, get beat, and then wanting to quit. Because, let's be real, not everybody goes easy and casual, and ranked is ranked. Because characters have unlockable skins through levels, but like them shits are at like 50 and 100. Dude, not everybody, like I said, wants to hop online, get beat. They just want to unlock Hitachi Galvin. Oh, whoops, I misread that. Bobcat Galvin, or Abyss Crag, or even Abyss Rado. Like, they just want to do that. They just want to learn the game at their own pace. So let them do that. Let them earn experience through iBreak, or like any of the other trials. Speaking of learning at your own pace, to make learning the game feel less of a slog, in the same video that I've referenced, Beast and Skeptic also said, I love this rework arcade mode to, instead of being time-based, have it be score-based instead. And especially when trying to unlock the Abyssal palette. Because at the moment, to even come close to doing that, you gotta cheese the ever-living crap out of the CPU right now. And this is like this is obviously for hard mode too, but even if you're on medium and you're not really up there in skill, how this could work is like, you score higher depending on like if you kill off the top or the side, and also how long your combo is, and like how much percent you dealt, etc, etc. And like, you don't really gain points by just like spiking the ever-living crap out of the CPU. Like, you don't get bonus for spiking. But you how I think this could also work is like, since you can just cheese through just spiking, you also get bonus points through time, obviously. And that's like also can keep the old way of like getting the Abyssal palette. It's like, yeah, if you really just want to cheese, just, yeah, you can go for it. But what this does is like, you can just like incentivize people to like go for an even higher score, right? During arcade mode. And you know what happens when people just want to see number go up, they just want to grind. Like, there's like off chances where they just want to grind even more. So that's just like, I am a big fan of this rework if that's possible. Now this other one came with the fact that we did get advanced tutorials, but it really got me thinking of like, yo, why not take some of the stuff from the tutorial and make them trials? Like, especially the movement, piece in the advanced tutorial, where it gets you to like learn dash dancing. Like, dude, like, make that a separate mode, and what this does is, like, it's so that I don't gotta play fucking Zetterburn. I can play, like, Absa, Crag, and practice dash dancing that way. And, like, I know this is, like, small and I could just do this in training mode, but, like, I feel like this could just help newer players into getting into the game. It's like, oh, hey, I could just practice this thing, or I could just drill some of these things with other characters and not just Zetterburn, and I also don't have to boot up the tutorial just to get there, and like why it's useful, and etc, etc. Now, next thing I want to talk about is items and Aether mode. I know we're getting this at some point in 2026, but I just want to yap about it for a little bit, because like with items, I remember with items, what they're starting with is it's just gonna be a consumable. Like, you get this thing, and then like you get to use, like, I don't know, Abs the Cloud, or you set people on fire like your Zetterburn, or you control Lily as like Crag, something crazy. Like you get Maple's Rap Effect. That's like the items that they're gonna start with, which is like fine, which is like good. I mean, then that means they technically did item mode. And then yeah, as time goes on, it's gonna get more advanced, and I'm honestly psyched for that. So in any case, here are my 3 items that I want in the game. So the first one being is I want there to be a cube, not a sphere. We don't want Nintendo suing Aether Studios, so a cube that summons a Rivals of Aether 1 buddy and it does an effect, right? One example being, like, it's just like you summon the cube and then, oh yeah, Dan's dog Sunny appears on screen, and it's like the Nintendog's assist trophy, just like, and it's not even just like Sunny and Roa 1 form, no, just like actual like clips of Sunny just being played on screen while you're like in the middle of the screen while you're trying to fight. The next, now, like, that's just like kind of one example. The next item I want is Shovel Knight's shovel, and for that shovel to have the exact same strong values as Shovel Knight. So like Shovel Knight F Strong is the same. Like you would be able to use Shovel Knight F Strong and Roa 2. That's what I would want. And then since, fuck it, dude, we already brought one guest character in, why not just bring in the other and just show how fucking stupid this move was. I want you to be able to do Ori's Bash. Like, you get an item and it lets you do Ori's Bash once for item mode, or for like this one item. Okay, Aether mode is next. What is Aether mode? It is basically Rivals of Aether's equivalent of casual stages, or stage hazards on if you're coming from Smash Bros. Ultimate. And yeah, no, like, I think this is a very good thing to come back in 2026. I feel like it should have been in here from the start. Now, I have a video where I talk about the top 5 stages I want, and I cheated with number 5 by saying I want a stage skin, because then it can just function as like one of their top Aether mode stages, where it was called Tower of Heaven, and the whole gimmick of the stage was they had these laws, and it was like stuff like thou shall not like air dodge or something, or thou shall not like hit the platform, like land on top of the platforms, stuff like that. There were only it was kind of lame because there was only 3 laws. I feel like if something like this stage, like Tower of Heaven, came back, it could function as like the WarriorWare stage. And it could just be all around fun, right? Or if we really don't want to do that, then like we can just have super transformation stages, and like obviously not competitive friendly, but that's like the kind of the whole point. Or we just have something like Brinstar, or just like Floor's Lava, stuff like that, like literally anything. Sky's the limit on this one. Okay, I thought I would just make this its entire section. Where the other biggest thing in the roadmap, actually probably the biggest thing on the roadmap that people are excited about, is Steam Workshop. Oh man, oh baby. The reason why I'm like least excited for this one is because it not even low-key, high-key takes away focus from the base cast, because this is exactly what happened in Rivals of Aether 1, and you know what? I would be completely fine with it, like completely okay with it, if the characters in Workshop brought something new, and if they also look like they are a part of the Aether universe, like they fit in the world of Aether to some degree. And that was my biggest problem, right? It's either joke character, and like there's like, it's just like, that's just the entire thing. It's just a joke character, which that's fine. But then like that's all the game becomes known for. if that makes sense. Which is why during the workshop character contest, when trying to find like the workshop character to debut in Rivals of Aether 2, I was hyped because a lot of the cast in the workshop character contest, right? They look like they can fit, and they were very unique. Like Lorena brought something new to the table, even though it's like, yo, how do we fit her lore in? But it's like, but she's so sick. She's awesome. Like as just straight up plat fighting grappler, and is no pun intended, a legit crowd magnet. Like, you cannot deny it. But then there's like other characters like Helios and Arcuin, because like I really liked those two characters because not only can they look like they fit in like seamlessly into the lore of Aether, but they also I can only speak on Arcuin because like I thought he was funny and he looked fun as shit to play as, and it's like, yo, wow, like damn, one of Edelus's homies just like is just down and out. Nope, psych, dude gets corrupted. Like you got this small ass little creature wielding this big ass like hammer, and like it is very, very threatening. And then Helios, I just think the story is like pretty sick, of like him being a veteran of the Fire Capital, and then like in the army, and he's just like now just a bartender in Julesvale, but he can still throw the hands. Like, dude, that's pretty sick. Shoutouts to the creators of both those characters. I really enjoyed those two alongside Lorena. But yeah, no, like at least with like workshop, I just hope that at the end of the day, the Rivals 2 just doesn't become known as a fucking joke again. Because like all Roll 1 became known for, when I talked to it with people, especially at Smashy Bro events, it's like the game became known as the game with Ronald McDonald, Giga Chad, Obama, Mario pissing. I just don't want Rivals 2 to fall in the same trap of looking like a gigantic fucking joke. Okay, moving on from that, miscellaneous stuff I kinda just want implemented in the game, like hopefully that's possible in 2026. Custom colors, pronto, like now, like, you know, last year. Dude, especially with Lorena coming out into the game, I got a lot of ideas. I'm actually inspired to just spend so much time in like custom color mode and just making making color palettes for Lorena. Like, I got so many ideas already. Literally the first one being is like giving Lorena the Rey Mysterio Halloween Havoc like color scheme, or even giving her the Prince Puma colors. And there's so much more sauce I got in the tuck that I'm just gonna keep it for myself. And I'm sure other people feel the same way for custom colors, because people might have ideas cooking for, like, I don't know, Loxodon, Rado, Claire, and Galvin. Like, dude, I just kind of want them to move custom colors early up in the roadmap instead of just being in the Beyond, because it's also another way for players to express themselves. I know we're getting some UI changes, and like menu might be getting a rework, but I highly want this expanded upon. Like, I just kind of want a fully customizable UI, as well as like let us change the background of the stage. That is like, cause like, you know how when a character drops and then the background stage is like whatever the character that dropped is. So like for Galvin, it was like the Metal Scrapyard stage, or when Absa dropped, it was Tempest Peak. Like, let us change the stage of that, and then on top of that, let us change the color of like the backgrounds of the stages, if that's even possible, and just to make the game unique to each person, because I think that's interesting. And especially if somebody streams the game, get on that later. Dude, it could just be like you're going on somebody's MySpace wall. Man, I wonder who's gonna understand that. Now, on to the last thing that I feel like is wholly entirely possible is just putting the R2CS tourneys front and center of the game. Like, and then when you click on it, it just gives you the schedule of like what's next. And it's just front and center in front of you, like as soon as you boot up the game. Like how when there's like news of things upcoming. I feel like that's entirely possible. And I feel like this should have been a thing, so it's easier to keep up with like the R2CS tourneys, and then so like people that are playing this game casually somehow, like, oh wait, are there tournaments for this thing? Oh wait, oh it's at the front page. Oh, okay, and then they click on it, and it's like, oh, okay, cash box is next, etc., etc. So this is just an example. So yeah, no, I feel like that should have been done ages ago, but here we are. I'm hoping they implement it now. Okay, wait, hold up. Nah, I lied. I lied about that last thing. No, the actual last thing is like that I hope gets implemented is like just having announcers like in the game, like for when when it goes 3, 2, 1, go. But it'd be hilarious, but I feel like it would be kind of hard to do, especially when we keep expanding on the roster. Just have each character like announce it too, like just have it be a toggleable choice. So you have Crag announce 3, 2, 1, go, or game set when the game's over, or just having Zedburn do the same thing. But I can understand of like how that one could be rough, especially when we expand on the roster. So instead, you just have select side characters that are just not gonna be confirmed in the roster do it. So yeah, that's the last thing that I hope gets implemented, not just in 2026, but in the future. So I guess that does it for the things that I consider just like absolutely pressing that I would want in 2026. However, one of the things that I think is very lacking and I hope gets like expanded upon is the lore of Rivals of Aether, or just the lore of Aether in general. Oh man, why do you care so much about this? It shouldn't be so important. You just won't all want to throw hands. Like, what's the point of having lore? Well, you see, having lore is like just another avenue of like to get people invested into the game, or get them interested into buying the game in the first place, or even checking out footage of the game in the first place. Because ever since Rivals of Aether 1, the lore has been like very lacking in just having around. Like, I know there was like one video by the goat named Bowler where he just sat there and did all the research of like all the stuff across spanning, I guess, like the past 9 years of Rivals of Aether, and put it all into a video, which is very nice. And I kind of want more about, like, I want to know more about the world. Oh, but why? How is it a problem? Well, you see, when we know more about Claren, like a character that I know Claren's like probably the protagonist of the game, but if we knew more about Claren off the jump than, I don't know, Daedalus, like who came out first before Claren, or when we also know more about Fleet, maybe even Slade, even Loxodon, more than like a character like Daedalus, a character that's been playable across 2 games for the past decade, I think that's a little bit of a problem. Now I'm gonna bring in a little game called Soul Calibur into the mix. I had no aspirations of taking that game seriously, even if it does come back with Soul Calibur 7. But holy crap, dude! I'm already invested because of like how like unique and diverse the characters are in terms of like their backstory and like their fighting style. And I got invested because of like how badass the lore is. An example being Zasalamel, where his entire deal, like he debuts in the 3rd game, but his whole ordeal was like this man just like basically accidentally cursed himself with immortality, and at this point he just wants to die. So how does he go about it? Oh, he needs both Soul Edge and Soul Calibur. Like, those are the only two things strong enough to, like, destroy the curse. So, like, he is just, like the game's antagonist in a way, because, like, he wants to, like, the only way for this to work is, like, if they both gain absurd power, and how Soul Edge gets power is by stealing souls. So, yeah. Just, that alone is, like, even as, like, an adult, like, that would get me curious, and, like, as to, like, oh, holy shit, dude, I gotta check this game out. And another example is, like, of, like, lore being a factor is Mortal Kombat. And, yeah. So what Aether Studios can do is, like, just doing something as simple as, like, maybe, like, just adding in, like, a whole section of, like, each character's, like, origins, like a character bio in the game, if people just want to do reading. Like, just something simple like that, and then, like, hopefully we can get, like, expansion on lore sooner rather than later. Like, because right now the only piece that we get of story mode is in 2027. But hopefully things go smooth, and, like, maybe that could get moved up. So starting this next section off, I'm just gonna say that I am a competitive player first, a fan second, content creator / streamer, and a commentator for this game, in that order. Meaning, my priority is, like, just tournaments and competing, which is why I wasn't really moved with, like, the super casual focused year, but even I can see, and I'm not blind to, like, where, no, we definitely need more shit to do in the game, just so that, like, it's more attractive to bring in people. And maybe then those people can maybe want to get invested into doing tournaments, right? Or just, like, just playing 1v1s more, right? So, yeah. I'll do my full thoughts on how the inaugural season went for R2CS. Like, just, like, a full breakdown after Genesis. But I will say that, holy crap, this was kind of a mess. I'm not gonna lie. Like, to the point where I straight up made a video asking, like, yo, bro, does Rivals of Aether 2 even belong at Super Smash Bros. Events? Because, like, there was a lot of things that was really fucking stupid with how things went. And I'm not happy about it. And I know people in the community are not happy about how shit went. And I really want to throw this one out there for everybody, like before I even make this future upcoming video. But I kind of want more tournaments like Plat Fight, the concept of Plat Fight, where it's like a Plat Fighters Evo, right? Or I want more tournaments like Heatwave, where it's just like every Plat Fighter but Smash, or just like Rivals centric. And this is what I mean. I'm circling back to, like, where if we did have a basketball mode, tetherball mode, or volleyball mode, that could be a side bracket. That's really why I want these, like, silly modes to come in too. So, like I said earlier, many people of varying degree of skill can just hop in and play, right? At least with, like, improvements to like stuff like Coinbox going into Cashbox, there was, like, vast improvement. Then again, the bar was a little bit in hell, but we move. We keep moving, keep on keeping on. So that really kind of makes me more optimistic, at least towards, like, the next season of R2CS. So yeah, stay tuned for the future video, at least until after Genesis. So yeah. Alright, that's gonna do it for the video, and that's probably gonna do it for me for the uploads of 2025. Hopefully I have this out before 2026. But funny enough, I had to cut out an entire section because I realized, wait, I can just make an entire video on this section I cut out. That might be the first or second upload. where I talk about content creation and what I want to do for next year or for 2026. But yeah, shoutouts to BeastMD and Simply Skeptic for inspiring me to want to make this video in the first place, talking about what I want out of Rivals 2. But yeah, no, so thank you for everybody listening to me, for over 30 minutes, much appreciated. And if you like what you had to hear or see, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel if you want to keep up with me. And if you want to see me in a live setting, please follow my Twitch, where I'm smacking people around or getting smacked around in Rivals of Aether 2, and as well as keeping up with the Wavelength Intel podcast, the podcast where me and a bunch of homies talk about Rivals of Aether 1 and 2 and other happenings and other platform fighters, because we are passionate about this genre. And also, if you wanna follow my Twitter for maybe updates, I will likely try to use it or remember the password of me using it. But yeah. And back to the streaming portion. I also multi-stream on YouTube with 0 ads, so that's even more incentive to subscribe to the channel to keep up with me. And it's also free $99 for 0 ads. So yeah, but if you do want to support me with money, if I have a creator code for Rivals of Aether 2, use code 1Outcast at the shop when buying these skin packs or these bundles, where you can get bucks like Milwaukee, bonus Aether bucks like Milwaukee, and you can ball like a Laker in game. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Yeah, shoutouts to everybody for being here. That's gonna do it. Peace.